Hello there.
I've been looking forward to this.
Well, are you ready to find out what happens with Anakin? Here's episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
So Chancellor Palpatine has been kidnapped by the droid army, led by the cyborg, General Grievous. Obi-Wan and Anakin are on their way to rescue him, where they're using the clone pilots to take all the fire so they can get to the ship. Anakin wants to help them, but Obi-Wan tells him to just let them die like they're supposed to.
No, they are doing their job, then we can do ours.
Obi-Wan is in trouble, so Anakin risks the mission to save him.
That wasn't much of a rescue.
They get on the ship and locate Chancellor Palpatine. So they tell R2 to hide, but give him a radio that gives away his position when the elevator stops.
It's insulting.
R2 gets caught restarting the elevator and covers the droids in oil and sets them on fire.
Get him, R2.
And I guess they just give up on trying to get him. Obi-Wan and Anakin make it up to the observation deck, where they find Palpatine handcuffed to a chair, completely unguarded.
I sense a trap.
But then Count Dooku comes in with some bouncer droids. Palpatine wants him to call for backup, but Obi-Wan gets super cocky.
Sith Lords are our specialty.
I mean, he may have taken out Darth Maul, but I think they forgot what happened the last time they tried to fight him. They both ended up whining on the ground, and Yoda had to come and save their butt for the second time that day.
That business doesn't count.
They attack Dooku together this time, but the droids don't shoot right away for some reason. And then when they do, it's like they only want to shoot Obi-Wan.
Did I miss something?
He takes him out, and Dooku throws him like a ragdoll, and then gets trapped under a platform. Anakin fights Dooku, who calls him a chicken, and then Anakin cuts both his hands off for payback.
He cut off your arm, and you wanted revenge.
Palpatine tells him to kill Dooku, but he's like, I really shouldn't. But Palps is like, do it. And he's like, that's a good argument. And Dooku's like, no, that argument sucks. And Anakin cuts his head off.
What have I done?
So Anakin feels really guilty about killing him when he was unarmed. But Palpatine's like, dude, it's not the first time you've gone psycho. Remember when you told me about slaughtering those Tusken Raider kids? That was much worse. So this is cool.
So uncivilized.
He releases the Chancellor, and he tells him to leave Obi-Wan, but he won't do it.
I'm not leaving without you, Master.
On the way out, they get caught in a trap and taken to General Grievous, who has a bit of a cold.
I know those wire jokes.
They get loose pretty much right away and fight their way out. Grievous breaks a window and escapes,
Time to abandon ship.
taking all the escape pods with him, so Anakin has to crash land the ship, but luckily finds a landing strip.
You're shorter than I expected.
When they get to the capital, Obi-Wan and Anakin jerk each other off verbally.
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough.
Hold on. This was your idea.
Before they separate, and Palpatine and Anakin go meet with the Senate. Mace Windu is there too, to let them know that finding Grievous is the Jedi's top priority. Since they're keeping their relationship a secret, Anakin runs over and kisses Padme with the Senate just a few feet away. He says he's glad the Chancellor got kidnapped because they were stationed on the Outer Rim.
So no Jedi were closer?
Oh, they were tons closer. They were just leaving the capital with him when they showed up. So that means that the entire Jedi Council of the most powerful Jedi decided that they were going to call these two that were light years away to come save him when they could probably see the ships from their beanbag chairs.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
She tells him that she's pregnant,
I'm pregnant.
Do you have a plan B?
Too late, jump!
which I understand she would want to do in person, but he didn't know when he was coming back, so who knows how long she was going to wait.
You never know.
Grievous flies into this hole where he contacts Darth Sidious, who tells him to move the Separatist leaders to Mustafar. He has concerns about Dooku being killed, but Sidious tells him he thinks he already found a replacement.
One far younger and more powerful.
Anakin stares at Padme comb her hair as she talks about where she wants to poop out the kid.
One we couldn't keep even if we wanted to.
He then has a nightmare, and she wants to hear about it. He tells her that she dies in childbirth, but she's more worried that they're both going to lose their jobs if anybody finds out about the baby, so they gotta keep it quiet.
We could keep it a secret.
I couldn't do that. Could you, Anakin? Could you live like that?
He then goes to Yoda for advice about his dreams, and he tells him to dump her ass.
Let go of everything you fear to lose.
But what Yoda should have said was, you can see the future? We've been having problems with that for like a decade. Why didn't you tell us?
impossible to see the future is. Clouded this boy's future is.
In fact, you should probably stay in the capital for a while and just focus on trying to see the future, and we'll investigate anything you see. Oh, it's a senator you see dying? We're gonna do whatever we can to keep them alive. It's not like it's your mom. We don't care about her.
The Jedi are selfless. They only care about others.
I guess Anakin could have tried saying, "Holy crap, Padme's in danger again. I guess we should try to save her. That chick's always about to die."
I don't need more security.
Obi-Wan warns Anakin about Palpatine because he's being granted power and wants Anakin to be his representative on the Jedi Council.
Me, a master.
Mom, I did it! Yeah!
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
So he throws a baby fit, showing exactly why he shouldn't get it.
How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
How embarrassing.
They then ask him to be a double agent. When he doesn't like this, Obi-Wan tells on him.
Snitch.
I was about to say that.
He also asks Mace Windu and Yoda if they think that Anakin is the chosen one, who will destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force.
How will killing all the bad guys bring balance?
Shut up. If everyone's good, it's balanced.
Good is a point of view, Anakin.
Anakin complains that he thinks the Jedi are breaking their own rules, and they should go back to the way things used to be. And Padme's like, well, I think the Senate is breaking its own rules and should go back to the way it used to be. Maybe you should bring that up to Palpatine since you're such good friends. But he's like, how can you think that way? That sounds like treason. You should go say that in public. So I guess he forgot that his motivation was to keep her alive, and that treason is punishable by death.
I agree. Bad idea.
So Anakin goes with the Chancellor to watch some bubbles, and he tells him that they located General Grievous. He also tells him a legend about this dude who could keep people from dying.
Well, that's lucky.
Well, Anakin wants to learn how to protect Padme while she's preggers, but he says it's a Sith power.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Yoda is on Kashyyyk, where the droid army is unloading, so the Wookiees wait until they're ready to attack. Palpatine wants Anakin to go after Grievous, but the Council wants Obi-Wan to go, and they can't seem to help rubbing it in.
A master is needed.
I concur.
Jerks.
But Anakin seemed to learn his lesson from earlier, and just tells Obi-Wan how much he appreciates him and how good of a teacher he was. But Obi-Wan's like, no, you're such a good Jedi, you make me look so good. Isn't it great how much we like each other right now?
He will not let me down. He never has.
But then Anakin has another Padme death dream.
Oh, I see it. Oh, this is going to be easy.
And sees his best friend trying to save his wife's life, so now he's so pissed off he can't play video games.
Did you press the stop button?
No, did you?
No.
So he thinks Obi-Wan's going to be the hero of the day, so he runs over to Padme and promises he's going to be the one to keep her alive.
You will not take her from me!
So Obi-Wan lands in the hole, where this vampire tells him that Grievous is still up there.
Can't trust vampires. Trust me.
He rides a noisy lizard up to the rafters of this hangar, where he jumps down and is surrounded by droids, but Grievous wants to fight him one-on-one.
I will deal with this Jedi slime myself.
That is, until the clones show up, and Grievous gets on a unicycle and runs away. So Obi-Wan follows him on the lizard.
This weapon is your life. Try not to lose it.
The Jedi want to remove Palpatine from office if he doesn't step down after Grievous is defeated. But Palpatine told Anakin that the Jedi secretly want to run the Senate. And this is where Anakin realizes that Palpatine is Darth Sidious.
Yes, Anakin, come closer. I have good news.
And he's controlling both armies, but he says that he can save Padme, so he's just going to tell the Council what's up instead of killing him.
Snitches get stitches.
Obi-Wan catches up to Grievous, and he thinks it's a good idea to punch and kick the robot parts. Grievous throws him off a ledge, but he gets a gun and shoots the squishy parts that are apparently very flammable. Anakin goes to Mace Windu and tells him that he thinks Palpatine is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
But he knows he is.
Yeah, but he doesn't want him dead, so he can learn the healing spell. Anakin wants to help arrest the Chancellor, but Mace Windu's like, no, I think you'll do something stupid. And then he thinks about it and goes to save Palpatine.
Is that bad?
So the smartest Jedi are going to make sure that Palpatine releases his emergency power since Grievous is dead. But for some reason, they don't call as many senators as possible to tell him he's dead, and that they can have their power back.
Wait a minute. How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Apparently not.
They think it's a better idea to go after him in private, so he can pretend to be some poor little old man who is attacked.
I'm too weak. Oh, don't kill me.
But instead of giving him the opportunity to give up the power, they walk in, lightsabers drawn, and try to arrest him. So Palpatine doesn't deny anything or try to give up his power. He just admits to everything.
I am the Senate.
Pulls out his lightsaber and starts to fight him. They go down like little bitches. Well, except Mace. Palpatine tries to lightning blast him, but it gets reflected back on him. He begs Anakin to save him, but all he has to do is stop shooting the lightning, and he gets real ugly looking. So Mace wants to put him out of his misery, but Anakin still needs the zombie magic, so he cuts his arm off, and Palpatine shocks him out the window.
Kinda hard to jump with 1,000 volts of electricity passing through your brain, huh?
Anakin dedicates himself to the dark side as long as he can save Padme. He names him Darth Vader and tells him that all the Jedi need to be destroyed, starting with the children.
Crush them, make them suffer.
Obi-Wan goes and gives orders to the clones and gets his lightsaber back.
Oh, yes, thank you.
But then Palpatine executes Order 66, a command for all the clones to kill the Jedi. I guess Yoda didn't read their instruction book, but they start killing all the Jedi all over, except Yoda. The Wookiees give him a ship to escape.
You are a bold one.
Obi-Wan escapes too, but gets a message from Senator Organa. Anakin makes sure Padme is okay, and says that he's loyal to the Republic, so he tells her where he's gonna go murder some people. On Mustafar, where they mine lava apparently, Anakin kills all the Separatist leaders.
Please. Don't.
Palpatine holds an emergency Senate meeting where he creates the Galactic Empire. Yoda and Obi-Wan find a video of Anakin taking his Sith oath.
I will not kill Anakin. He is like my brother.
Don't let your personal feelings get in the way!
Obi-Wan thinks that he can be saved, but Yoda's like, no, he's lost. Just go kill him. He then goes to Padme to ask her where he can go kill him at. Well, she won't tell him, but she also decides that she wants to go see him, so Obi-Wan stows away on the ship because she has pretty crappy security for a senator.
3PO will look after me.
So Yoda walks in like a badass, totally ready to fight, and the Emperor's like, alright, I'm gonna throw some lightning at you. And then Yoda's completely surprised when he does. But then Yoda uses the Force to push him into a chair, and the Emperor gets scared and tries to run away.
He's a coward.
And that's when they start a lightsaber fight that goes all the way up into the Senate room. So they're jumping and flipping, and the Emperor, who kind of looks like a naked mole rat now, starts throwing chairs at Yoda. But Yoda catches one and starts spinning it, and the Emperor's like, what are you doing with that? And is totally surprised when it gets thrown back at him. So then they start using lightning on each other, but that doesn't seem to work until they blast each other off.
Failed, I have. Into exile. I must go.
And then Yoda decides that it's time to call Senator Organa for a ride out of there. Padme arrives on Mustafar, and she tries to convince Anakin not to go to the dark side. And he's like, but you're gonna die, and I'm gonna save you when you do. He then tells her his plans for overthrowing Palpatine and ruling the galaxy with her. And she's like, I'm not really into that sort of thing.
Anakin, don't say things like that.
Honestly, this seems like something they should have talked about before they got married. But she's not getting through to him, so I guess Obi-Wan decides that her turn is up. And because he decides to pop out in the middle of their marital spat,
the negotiator.
We'll never know if he was planning on jumping on Padme's side of the argument or pulling out his lightsaber.
Traitor.
Because Anakin just starts strangling Padme, thinking she betrayed him. Obi-Wan's like, dude, you just strangled your pregnant wife. I guess it's too late for you. I mean, I wanted to save you after you slaughtered those brats in the temple.
Well, he is under a lot of stress, I think.
But this is too far. So Obi-Wan pulls out his lightsaber first, even though Jedi are strictly ordered that they can only use their lightsabers to protect or defend themselves.
It's not the Jedi way.
And then they start fighting, and they are just breaking all sorts of stuff throughout this building. So they get on top of this conference table, and it turns into an episode of WrestleMania. Anakin loses his lightsaber, but Obi-Wan just keeps going at him. He even tries to strike him down, even though he swore that he wouldn't kill him. And then they take a break from fighting to do some late 90s glow stick dancing.
No, nothing too fancy.
At one point, they realize that lightsabers aren't working anymore, so they decide to use the Force and end up pushing each other onto a control panel that turns off the shields on the mining equipment. Since they're pretty evenly matched with lightsabers, they go out on a balance beam to make it harder. Well, the equipment starts falling apart, and they end up falling into the lava river to keep fighting. Obi-Wan grabs a rope and swings onto this platform.
I'm running out of tricks here.
But Anakin jumps on top of this droid that's like dude, I'm trying to work here. And they keep fighting.
Move to the right.
Hold on, Anakin. You're gonna get us both killed.
Anakin jumps on the platform but almost falls off. So Obi-Wan jumps on land
Another happy landing.
and is like, Anakin, I've got the high ground now. You better not do what I think you're gonna do. And Anakin's like, I'm gonna do it. So Anakin jumps and he gets all of his limbs cut off.
Oh dear.
But then Anakin catches on fire, and instead of putting his friend out of his misery, he just kind of watches for a minute, picks up his lightsaber, and walks away.
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
Padme is going into childbirth, but wants to die because she has nothing to live for.
She has lost the will to live.
But somehow she still cares enough to name her twins.
Luke. Leia.
But it's still easier for her to just die than to live without Anakin. Her last words are, there's still good in him. But if she really believed that, wouldn't she want to live? She could stupidly be like, hey babe, I know you beat me out of love, and I forgive you, but you need to stop trying to take over the galaxy and come home to me and the kids.
You're breaking my heart.
The Emperor finds Anakin and gives him a nifty cyborg suit to keep him alive, and then immediately tells him his wife's dead.
You killed her.
So he kills the Emperor.
Huh?
He said he would serve him as long as he saved Padme. If Padme's dead, he doesn't need to do what he says anymore.
Life debt?
It is demanded by the gods, it is.
But the kids need to be separated so Darth Vader won't find them. So Senator Organa takes the girl, and Yoda suggests that the boy go live with his aunt and uncle on Tatooine.
I will take the child and watch over him.
Wouldn't he look for him there?
Well, he doesn't know they were born. Plus,
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
and the Emperor has the space station he's building, so he's pretty excited about that.
This is where the fun begins.
Become a subscriber.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
It's over, Anakin!
I can't watch anymore.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us all.